Sugars. Truth talk, truth talk, truth talk. We're taking a swamp cruise of truth, and Barry and Tamika are getting it. This episode was good. I'm clutching my pearls. Here we go. Southern Charm, New Orleans. It's happening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I think you gotta pop it for this, right?
You gotta pop
booty
it?
pop, booty pop, booty pop, booty
Can I
pop.
get up on that table?
Hey.
No.
This table's already
It's
shaking.
fine.
No.
I've seen that cake. You don't want to pop that. They can't handle it. It's too much.
They're not ready. They're not
It's
ready.
too much. Hello, everybody. I'm like, woo, that was an emotional episode that we just went through, y'all.
Wow.
But we are going to do it. Welcome to Southern Charm, New Orleans. This is episode 4. I should have checked. Four. Yeah,
Yes,
episode 4.
4.
It felt like 3 episodes. That's why I paused, because it was just a lot coming at us. It was really great. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm going to introduce our panel. This is our full panel. Yay! We all made it. We all made it. I wasn't hungover this time. No, okay. So let's, Lanisha, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm El Marie.
Oh, El Marie.
But my government is Lanisha. But
Okay. Okay. Her email says Lemmy, but it's El Marie. Okay, I got you. I got you. I know now.
And I'm Charles Conoly, but on Saturday nights I'm Cinnamon.
Oh!
Cinnamon.
Just saying.
Wow.
Jeez, I don't
First
have anything
story.
fun to say. I'm Mayte Carillo, you guys. That's it.
And I'm Matt. No, I'm Matt Marr, everybody. Okay, so let's just jump right into this. There is still drama from last week's jewelry recap party. So,
Yes.
and if y'all haven't watched that episode after, be sure to check that out, because there's also an interview with Reagan and Jeff on the show. Great job. I was
Thanks. I was sweating.
you
know,
did
because-
great.
so, yeah.
They were so nice. It was a great interview, so be sure to check that out. But the drama of this jewelry party.
It's real.
it was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, so kind of there's 2 camps of, should Tamika apologize or should she not?
Yeah. Because
caused
Tamika
it.
popped off. She popped off.
Yeah,
And she
she
even
should
said
have
she
popped
came
off.
in too hot.
Yeah.
And she kind of regretted it, was a little bit hesitant to
Mm-hmm.
apologize, but whenever we jumped into this episode 4, they were all kind of airing out like what they had thought about this jewelry party and where the night went left and who went right. And we kind of joined them whenever they're at this like brunch
Yeah, there was
slash
some-
There was a ladies' brunch in the cells, and then the
Yes.
men
Yeah.
having lunch.
Men's
Yes.
lunch.
Men's lunch.
So
But
it was-
yeah.
It was very like ladies who lunch and then like bros who lunch.
Yeah.
And the ladies were more talking about like Tamika's
Yeah.
whole gig about how she was confronting some couples who
Justin
were
and Kelsey.
Well,
Right.
Reagan brought it up first, right?
Right.
Reagan really was kind of like,
Yeah.
she was just kind of like, she basically told her,
Oh,
she
yeah,
said,
at
you
the
ruined
lunch.
the party.
At the
Yeah.
She's like, this was my jewelry party. It was for the lunch. It was just inappropriate. It's not the time.
Yeah.
It's not the place.
Yeah.
Like, do y'all...
I think,
I agree
yeah.
with that with Reagan. It wasn't the place, because especially so with the situation with her and John and Barry and stuff, we'll get to that later. I think that was a little bit of both of them, Tamika and John, because John also wanted to talk about it. But when it comes to Justin and Kelsey, that wasn't the place, you know, and that's someone's relationship, and you come in like, oh, well, that's not what you just said a minute ago about wanting to be with her and she's the one and things like that. Like, that's gonna make anyone
Mess.
uncomfortable.
Right.
And
I feel like,
upset.
yeah, and I feel like Justin could have easily shut it down too. He could have kind of been
That
like,
is
you know
true.
what? I don't want to talk about this right now. Let's do this some other time. But
Yeah.
he kind of went with the flow as well.
Yeah.
Well, do you think, and I'm playing devil's advocate because I don't know, we don't know them that well, but do you think he was going with the flow? Or do you think he's kind of like, I feel like once the Tamika train gets running, you got to get off because it's just going to go.
I don't know. I feel like if they know how Tamika gets, they can kind of
Shut it down.
kind of be
Yeah.
like, whoa, okay, now Tamika's really coming in for us. Like,
Okay.
there's a
Walk
reason, and
away,
we can
yeah.
kind of like push her back out. But
Okay.
they didn't do it. They were
But then
kind of just
now
going
that I
with
think
it.
about it, like replaying it, so because it was just her and Justin at first, and then here comes Kelsey. So then he was probably in an awkward position, because then if you walk away, then Kelsey's like, well, what were you talking about?
Yeah.
Why did this stop?
Yeah.
So-
if you have nothing to hide, why did you bail on the
Yeah.
conversation?
Oh,
So he
see.
So that
might
gets
have
a little
felt
tricky.
exactly. He might have felt the reason like I need to stay and like stick this out and really defend myself. And then Kelsey came up
Yeah.
and it got awkward.
Yeah.
But I really do think that both of them are really meant to be for each other. Like, they both have a great relationship, so I don't think Kelsey has anything to worry about. Like, they're planning for their future.
Okay.
He's building it. You don't
Right,
think
I was
so?
like,
Okay.
I don't know.
you
The
don't-
way his actions are showing a little bit more. I mean, they're building
Yeah.
a house together. Like, he's bringing her into the whole reconstruction.
I mean,
Dot.
I don't.
no?
To
Am
be
I the only
determined.
one?
Justin,
Yeah,
I'll
to be
marry you
determined.
if you're not. I think you're so cute.
I think it's
With that,
too early
That
to
voice
tell.
is like
Oh,
golden
no,
velvet.
I like them together.
You know, there's a little bit of, we see this a lot on regular Southern Charm, this whole Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
And it's not that Justin seems like he's grown up. He's like a grown man and he acts like an adult. But there is this unwillingness to just,
Own it.
yeah, and like, say, for me, it's a little bit about,
Mama's boy?
it's a little
Syndrome?
about respect.
No?
It's just about, we define our lives with the words we use. And we're going to talk about that a lot more with Barry later. But we do. And I feel like, if I was dating Justin for 3 years, which I'm fine, but if he was still like, this is my friend, Matt, I'd be like, girl.
He doesn't say that that's my friend, though.
I know, but also too, like when
That's how he
anytime
makes it.
people say fiance and stuff,
Yeah.
He
there's
backs off of
he
it.
backs
Yes.
off and he's like,
he makes
'Cause
sure
I
to
want-
really correct it. No, we're not there yet. Like,
Yeah.
but you want to live together.
but you
so
live,
it's-
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. His actions, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
but-
just hoping for the best.
But the girls at the lunch or brunch or whatever it was with Benny Poppins all agreed
Benny Poppins.
that
I love
Tamika
Benny.
I feel
was
like we need to talk
wrong.
about it, Benny.
Tamika was wrong for that. Like Rachel called her out, and Reagan was a little bit less like in her face about it with Tamika, and I don't know. I mean, Tamika stormed off whenever Reagan was being gentle with her. Like if she was in her face, I don't know what Tamika would have done because Tamika maybe would have popped off again.
Well, Rachel came at it.
Yeah.
Rachel did.
Yeah.
That's
She
what you had
did.
to
I think
say.
it was
Rachel is a good friend.
Rachel
Like, Rachel
is.
needs to stay in because she
Yeah.
served it back to
Yes.
Tamika and told her and was questioning her. She's like, wait, you said you just came in hot. What do you mean by it? She's like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't come in hot. She's like, but you just said it.
Yeah,
Right.
when Rachel's
do
like,
like
why
Rachel.
didn't you just call them on the phone? I
Yeah.
was reborn.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that was like an interrogation. It was like the light on Tamika. Like, so why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You just said that. Like,
Yeah, I feel like Rachel's like been down the road, like where Reagan's just now sadly experiencing kind of the stuff with Jeff. Like
Yeah.
Reagan's been, she has a lot less to give. You know what I mean? She's like, girl, I've been there, I've done that. So I think so far that we've seen is really kind of, I've seen the one person who, and she wasn't aggressive, but that actually was able to kind
Tell
of
it like it is.
have that energy to match Tamika.
Yeah.
Because Tamika makes a loud noise and
Yeah.
she's just
Tamika's
like,
up here.
yeah, exactly.
But I liked it. And then
Oh, I
like
liked
going
it.
over to what the guys were talking about was a little bit different.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
I
yeah,
missed this
yeah,
last week. Did y'all?
So I, to be honest, missed it too because it happened so fast. Like we were all caught up in this. So this happened. I guess it was. Yeah. Was it episode 3?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was episode 3. It was
that's where
this
it
last
ended.
episode.
Yeah.
So it all happened so fast with Barry confronting
Quay.
Quay, this guy.
the guy calls Tamika insecure, which honestly,
Why?
if
Yeah.
somebody called me insecure, would you get that pissed off?
No,
No.
Tamika
No,
was.
but
Go ahead, Elmarie.
it was him calling her insecure, but also because you don't have a place to speak to me. I don't know you. You also weren't there
Well,
at the
true.
situation. So you're really speaking out of place. And I think she probably was more upset about that than you just calling me insecure. Like, you don't know me and you don't know the situation. So I don't need you to speak.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyways, what Barry did, he went 2 in. He regretted it. Everybody else said, yeah, you should regretted it because what you said was dumb. He used a word, a slur for gay man, the F word.
Sounds
and
like bag.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
So
I didn't get. Like,
I didn't
I
either.
am gay. In case your head
What?
was. I know. You know.
This is new.
My high school girlfriend still wonders. Anyway, but now I say that in that I'm sensitive to like hypersensitive. So like if I if someone's like, oh, is that a new bag? And I'm like, what did you say? What did you say? I will cut you.
Yeah.
But so I didn't hear it. I wasn't triggered by this.
would you like to double bag it?
Wow.
What'd you call me? That was like too close. That was like too
That
close.
was too. I just got triggered. You
Yeah,
want to
right.
fight, Charles? No.
Maybe we can go outside.
Maybe.
No, see, I'm a big old gay too, so.
So you would think we would have caught on it, but we didn't.
No,
So-
well, the argument happened so fast, and the word was bleeped out, and then they kind of addressed it at the beginning of this
Yeah.
episode, And whenever they guys went out to lunch, like Barry basically did he bring it up, the word? He brought it up.
Well,
No, Justin brought it up.
Justin?
Yeah, because he was saying that
Oh,
Barry,
yeah.
he said he wants to mentally detox, and he's like, that's not how he wants to see him. And then Justin said, for me, it was that word, and you can't say that word. And Justin said, honestly, something that I thought was really powerful is he said, you can't say that word. He said, you have to think about it. For some people, that's like when people say the N-word, which the similarities I both see in both those words, like totally like said, but like that's the last word that people heard when they were killed.
Yeah.
Because people have been killed for those things. So that's when Justin said that, though, that was really that was powerful for me.
Eye-opening.
Yeah, just
For
because
Barry, too.
being from the South, being how men are, and we're going to talk about this more. It was just he went there immediately, and I think Justin or Barry was like,
It hit
just
him at
seemed-
the
Yeah, it
it's
kind of
in
put
the
in
hidden.
perspective for him.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and he was like justifying why he did it at the at the lunch. He was telling Justin and was it Tamika's brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was telling them like why he said that. It just started coming out. He couldn't stop saying it. He reverted back to his adolescence, which I don't know if he was trying to like justify it, because that's not really a great excuse, saying that my brain just reverted back to being a teen. Like, I just acted like a child, so that's why I did it. I don't know if he was trying to justify it in that way. That's how he explained it. I don't know if he was looking for sympathy when he said, like, I reverted back to my adolescence, but it didn't make it any better
Yeah.
at all.
I felt like he was trying to look for an excuse, and he
Yeah.
felt that that was just the best one to put
And
out
it was
there.
like kind of an awful one, because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're saying you said it because you act like a child? Like,
Yeah.
that's not a good
And
reason.
it's like
Come on.
I can see where he's coming from a little bit to say that, like,
Oh, I
growing
can.
up, you
It just started
it was
coming
like you
out,
said, like
bubbling up.
right? And also, like you said, he wanted to trigger, and that is a thing. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you'll say it to get someone triggered, and you want to fight. He wanted to trigger him because the guy kept saying, "Hit me, because
I will
I'll
sue you,
So
Boots.
I guess
I
it
will
was
sue
like
you."
That
Barry
guy was
wanted
a
him to hit him
punk.
first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that
That
guy
guy
was
was a punk.
provoking him.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
so much, yeah. But at the same time, it's like with Barry, you are a grown man,
Yeah.
so you know the difference.
Act
now.
like one 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, I feel like
Tragic.
Barry just needed a friend. And I feel like
gonna
if
be his
people need a good friend, we know somebody here at AfterBuzz
Oh.
who could be that friend
Jesus.
to Barry.
My name's Charles Conoly.
No,
and I'll
no,
be
no, not you.
Barry, you don't want that friend.
Barry,
Although,
let-
after seeing Barry's butt, I'll be your friend.
Oh.
Lord, that man in the shower.
I know.
Listen,
Oh.
this is how I know Tamika's not insecure.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
let my husband's butt be on TV.
Yeah, Barry might be 100% straight, but that butt was 100% gay. Okay? All the way gay.
It was cake. I could have had dessert.
It was cake with extra
Lord.
frosting.
I think I'm gonna cut this right
Magnolia
here.
Bakery ain't got nothing. All right.
But,
all right.
but let's talk about a friend that
Let's
Barry
talk about
needs,
friends,
which
Barry.
is our lovely Maria Menounos.
Yes.
So if you guys want to have fun, learn, grow in all areas of your life, right? Because who doesn't?
Doesn't.
For those who do, we have the bestest podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrities and influencers, along with secret tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, aka Barry, you need this. From health and wellness to career, relationships, finance, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister or friend you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, you must, this is a must, you must tell her that us here at Southern Charm, New Orleans,
Nola.
sent you. Hey, be sure to rate and comment when you do. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Check it out.
Yes, yes, and thank
Yeah.
you. That is why we are here doing this show for you for free, because of Maria Menounos.
Yes.
and her husband,
Maria.
Kevin.
And Kevin, too.
And
Yes,
Kevin.
and
yes.
Kevin.
So thank you. So let's talk a little bit more. This little section now we're gonna call our hashtag Truth Talk section. This is where we talk, where we feel like Barry and Tamika really got like, you know, when you have
Oh, yeah.
friends and then you have
The
friends
friend.
who tell it. They're not mean.
Nope.
No.
They're not vicious about it, but they tell you the truth even if you don't want to hear it. And I thought we had to, let's see. Well, let's go ahead and talk about, since we're just talking about Barry, let's just kind of finish up talking about Barry and Gion's conversation in the park.
Oh.
I
What
didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
El Marie, what is your face?
Because same, like I just didn't expect Gian to react the way that she did. It was a very bad thing to do, but for him to say that, but for her to want to cut business ties. And right away, they didn't really, I feel like she didn't really go in with the conversation of, well, what happened? Tell me what happened. Let's talk about this. It was like, but did you say it 3 times? I heard you said it 3 times. I just cannot be associated with this. And then she's done. So.
Yeah. And you know, that showed me that Gian is a big baller because she showed up at the park in the G-Wagon. You know, don't know how new it is or old it is or what the tea is with how she got the G-Wagon, but she showed up in a G-Wagon and she was straight and to the point with Barry, showing me that she has done business in the past, and when she has made a decision, she's made the decision, and she just told Barry straight up, like, with who I am in this community, I cannot be associated with that, and I'm cutting it right here. Like, there was no wishy-washy, there was no waffling, beating around the bush. Like, she just told him, which, like, as trifling as she might be, and as, you know, I'm unsubscribed to Gian, and I'm kind of done with her already, episode 3.
Yeah. Same.
I
know she's...
like her.
She is not Team Tamika. I'm saying,
if y'all were
listening,
if you're listening to the podcast, I just said I kind of like her, and I got 3 ladies who just glared at me, and I say ladies because it was a glare.
On that note,
Shall I kick
listen,
him from here?
Listen,
Yeah.
I've been wrong. I've been wrong about characters before. So if I'm wrong about Gian, I will fully admit, like, hey, I was wrong about Gian. I didn't like her at the beginning of the season. Now I like her, so we'll see how it goes. But I think she's trifling.
Now, is that a Southern thing where I guess like people hear things and then from there you kind of cut ties? Because here in LA, it's like whatever. You hear someone say something and then you still do business because business is business.
No, I think that is a thing of social media because I think especially back in Southern days, people wouldn't care. But here's the deal, and it's like, and even I struggle with this, and I am gay, and I'm like, I started like a gay like leadership camp, and I'm an activist, but I still like there's that part of me that's like, but Barry's really nice. I don't think that was Barry's intention. I don't think he meant that. But at the same time, if Barry had said the N-word, or was a white man that said the N-word, or if he said something, it was a hashtag Me Too. It's kind of like we are in that part of our culture right now
Everything is
where
so black and white.
It is black and white, and also too, it's like, I hate it that he's the fall guy for this, but it's kind of like, the reason why, and I especially think, because for me using the F word isn't just about gay people. It's about, it goes back, and they talked about this later on the boat, we'll talk about it, but it goes back to a conversation about that the feminine is hated in this country. And that to be a masculine man, you need to be this way, but also to be a feminine woman, to be a strong woman, you have to be bitchy, you have to be aggressive, but that your femininity isn't honored and it isn't revered. So for me, that goes to a deeper meaning. And until we start saying, no, these type of words are not acceptable, I don't think there is going to be progress on that. And I think we're finally starting to see that with women's rights and with Black Lives Matter, that people are and with Parkland, people are finally kind of like, we kind of have to make these stands. That said, I love Barry. Your apology, I'm all for it, but I think that's just kind of where we are in the culture.
Yeah, it's like with this climate, it's like if something like that happens, the person has to take responsibility for it and they have to suffer the consequences now. Yeah, because like you said, it's like it's been going on so long, kind of swept under the rug. Nothing happened. So now you have to hold people accountable. So you have a good point with that. Yeah.
And like it lives online. People things live online.
That's why I think it's social media, because it is. Gion's not dumb. This show is out there forever.
Right.
So if somebody sees like, hey, and whoever she works with, but
yeah, they could have easily slipped this whole incident under the rug because the last episode we didn't see this happen.
We didn't even notice it.
Yeah, until it was brought up.
I think the fact that they aired it is
great.
It's great.
Yeah,
and that's a lot on Barry probably to be open to having this told. So and we're going to talk about, but like he makes a great come around to this.
I'm glad that it did because everybody deserves to be a little bit schooled about what is right and what shouldn't be right.
I think we've all done that too. Yeah. And good people make bad mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
But better people learn from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, like, Barry did do everything right following up with this.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of people have done a lot worse, and it's not the worst thing he could have done.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
And the fact that he, like, the potential for him to be, like, crucified for a word is kind of crazy. Like, for me, because I'm gay too, and growing up in the South, like, later on, spoiler alert, it is said I have developed such a, like, strength against that word, and it's true. As a gay guy, like, I've developed kind of a weird, like a relationship with that word that has kind of like released its grip on me. So if somebody calls me that, it's like it doesn't even really affect me anymore because I've been called it before. It's been a derogatory term before. So it's like, okay, it's like old at this point. So there could have been a lot worse things that Barry could have done, but good on him for jumping on it, nipping it in the bud, trying to explain himself, and saying sorry immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say not only that. Yeah, he tried to apologize that night. And I say tried because the guy was still provoking him. He was still ignorant, but right away he went to apologize
in
the
alley. And I do think that I wasn't saying necessarily that I agreed with Gian. I'm just saying I feel like that's maybe the point she was coming from. Because then I also see that I feel like we are right now living in a society where it's hard for you. Once you make a mistake, it's hard for you to apologize for people to accept it. I feel like that's the part. If we want people to like accept change, then you have to be open. Like, and we could talk about this in the Queer Eye panel, but like Karamo just started, who, if you don't know, Karamo's African American, just started like a campaign and conversation with H&M after all like the crap they did. So it's like, but that's that same with Gian and Barry. Like the fact that he did apologize so quickly, that actually shows me honestly what kind of person he is. Yeah. More than the word he said, because anyway, we'll get to it. Because we're talking, but Jared lays it out on that swamp tour.
He really does.
But let's talk a little bit of Barry, it ain't all about you. Let's get to the star drama of this party, Miss Tamika. Speaking of Tamika and Jared. So Tamika meets Jared for lunch.
The bag of nickels herself.
What? That is
whenever that came out, Rachel said, "You're a bag of nickels."
Yes.
I was dead.
I was.
That was amazing.
That was great. So what did we think about? So Tamika was kind of telling Jared what was going on, and what'd you think about what did you think?
Jared laying
it out.
Yeah, like you said earlier, you have those friends, and then you have the friends that like really tell you like it is. And I like that Tamika has somebody, because if she didn't have somebody, she probably would have gone all the way left. The Tamika train would be a full steam engine. It would be picking up people left and right. So she was on the dock. She ordered a drink because she's Tamika. I love her. And Jared basically told her, "Girl, you went too far. You ruined the party. You ruined the night. You spoiled the gig. The milk was good, and you spoiled it, girl. And then you spilled it." And I like the fact that he was honest with her, and she was receiving it a little bit reluctantly, but she was receiving it, and it got her thinking. Which, I mean, I know that she's smart, so she thinks a lot. Yeah. So it's good that she thought about some of the repercussions of her actions.
I feel like low-key she probably knew she did wrong.
Yeah, she did.
But she just needed someone to really tell her to her face.
My back. I think that's exactly what it was. And then she wasn't really able to.
What? I said that.
She's like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, she was like, my bad.
But Tamika couldn't really receive it from Rachel, I feel like, because she doesn't know her that well, and she's kind of new. So it's like, I'm going to block you out. Like, you can't tell me anything. But when it comes from someone you care about, you will respect what they're saying. And then it's like you said, she needed to be checked. Because someone who, they know what they're doing, but if they go unchecked, all hell breaks loose.
They keep going unchecked.
Yes, the wrath of Tamika takes over everyone.
Because I don't know if Barry checks Tamika.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Tamika checks Barry.
Yeah.
I check him. I check him too.
I check Barry.
I check him too.
I check Barry and Justin
and John.
I mean, ooh.
Oh my God,
I just smoke a cigarette after this show, and I don't even smoke. That's the way I feel like it. Oh, they give me the vapors.
You're going so gay this episode that you're going to go straight.
That's true. It's so true. Jared is handsome too. Yeah, let's talk about the one guy who actually might sleep with me.
Yeah.
Not that he would. You know what I mean? Let's move on. So, actually, you know what, Jared? If you're listening,
hey,
you know what you can do for this little ginger right here, Sugar? You can leave a review on iTunes or on Spotify or on YouTube. If you're watching the YouTube channel, click like and share this. Just that little circle arrow thing. We appreciate that. Put the comments. We talk in the comments all the time. We talk about your fan theories, what's going to happen. We're all about it. And if you're whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, if you go on the app that you're listening to, leave 5 stars. Tell us why you like the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show. We take the feedback.
Tell us what you don't like about me.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I
don't
love
do
it.
that. Don't do that because
You might go on forever.
the Charles Conoly train's a train as well, y'all. I've seen it.
It's rusted, it's busted, it's crusted, it still runs on coal, okay?
It's crusted.
It's crusted. We're working on that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk now. We're going to just be sure that just keep going or keep watching, keep listening, because we're going to get to our special segment, which Barry even Instagram messaged me and thought it was her. Our how to say it again?
Les bon cray cray.
Les bon ton cray cray.
Cray cray.
You're
That's
the
off the
expert
tongue.
in this.
We
yeah.
got our segment coming, but before that, let's kind of talk about this last section. Let's talk about the swamp tour, y'all. Alligator tears. So Tamika's idea
My
is...
whole life is a swamp tour.
It's true. Me too. Me too. I'm there with
Excuse
you.
me?
I'm there with you. So Tamika has the idea that she wants to apologize, in quotes, whatever that means for Tamika.
way.
And so she thinks, well, I'm going to get everybody on a boat in a swamp with alligators so nobody can leave.
Jump. If
So-
anybody wants to jump, you're going to
So let's see how this went.
This went messy. It went swamp. Well, no, it actually
It did.
It was going to go messy, and then it didn't go left. It went right a little bit.
Actually, yes.
So Tamika started off like, let's get down to the nitty gritty. They take off from the swamp, the baya, as they call it, and Tamika starts with her faux apology, and I like that faux pas, an apology.
Yeah.
I just made that up on the fly.
Apology.
Hashtag faux apology. So she gets off with her faux apology.
That is true.
And she starts talking around the apology. And then she looks at the apology and says, like, "What's up, girl?" And she passes it again. and then she turns around, she's like, "I'll catch you later," and then keeps going. And then turns around to walk back a little closer to the apology, says the apology isn't that cute, and turns away again and walks off, leaving Reagan and who else was she gonna apologize to? Mostly
Justin.
Reagan.
Justin, really.
yes.
Leaving
Justin.
Reagan and Justin a little bit gagged, a little bit cracked.
Because she
and-
just sat down with Justin and said, "Are we good?" And he's like, we'll
Yeah.
talk about it later.
Yeah.
We need
And
to
they
talk."
honestly, they were a little gagged, but not too gagged, because this seems like a theme with Tamika.
Yeah.
Because they were giving their commentaries, they're like, Tamika's not apologizing, like
Right.
it is
Circles
what it
and
is.
circles.
Yeah, saying hi to the apology and then leaving, So it went a little bit messy, and Tamika was a little reluctant to apologize.
My favorite part of Tamika was her schooling Nicelle. Is that how you say it? Nicelle?
Nicole.
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 The out of Africa theme.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
She kept on saying out of Africa, and we were all looking at each other like,
Is this girl still
is
saying
this-
that?
Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
But like Tamika said, you can't put a lot of black people on the boat
Yeah.
and keep saying out of Africa, honey. Like, that's
You just
not,
can't do it.
Can't keep doing that.
See, she checked her. She
Yeah.
had to clock her because they were trying to drop some hints, like,
Right.
"No, I'm not
Yeah,
out of
sure.
Africa. Let's not get that. Let's get this
Yeah.
straight."
that's true.
And then
Find
Nicole
that
kept
out right
saying
now.
it,
Yeah.
and the white, she was like, "Ooh, you're so out of Africa with this tribal."
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, I'm not." And then she kept saying, and they're like, "Okay, girl,
Right.
Let me tell you.
let me
Yeah.
just get you all the way together. You cannot keep saying
Yeah.
that when we're all on a boat."
Yeah.
El Marie,
checked her
what
real
stood out
quick.
for you on the boat on the swamp tour?
Yeah.
On the swamp tour, what stood out for me? A part of it was Tamika's non-apology, but then also Gian with her messy self speaking on Barry, like, and I understand, and that's where it gets like a little bit tricky. You are friends with him, business partners, kind of, maybe not anymore, but his wife is there. You can say what you want to say, maybe lightly, but leave that to her. Like, that's her place to check her husband.
That's
or
true.
say things like that.
That's
So
true. That's fair.
she's like, well, you gotta grow up sometime, Barry. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't say anything to him, but then if the wife comes through and checks you, then to me, I feel like you should be quiet.
Yeah.
Because don't come at people in their relationships.
And if you are going to like check a member of a marriage,
Couple,
then do it in private. Like, because whenever you're
Yeah.
doing it in public, you're kind of saying like, clearly your wife isn't going to do it, so I'm going to do it
Yeah.
for you.
Rachel
Exactly.
said,
It's
"Call him on the
disrespectful,
phone, boy."
yeah.
It's like
Call him on the phone.
It's like in front of everybody, you're saying like your wife isn't going to tell you.
Right.
So it's like, okay, no, that's
Yeah.
not the tea.
Rules to these things. Right?
Messy.
I didn't like that.
You know what? I'm less on the Gian Island now. Because you're right. You said that. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
That
not.
wasn't your place.
That's not kosher, girl.
Gee,
You
off.
don't do
trying
that.
to fit in
No, but-
somewhere.
yeah.
Clearly.
She's trying
'Cause
to
I'm
find a
saving
place.
another moment for my.
Oh, but she showed up with John.
Oh,
Oh.
She showed up with John.
She showed up with
What
John.
To the
Tamika called her an
swamp tour.
STD. She said I had her in college. Then Mary got
Mary
her.
got
Now
nothing.
John. She's like everybody catching
It's
that.
like an STD.
Because it's like, if you're not really that close with everyone, why would you come? And you just tried to break ties with Barry. Why would you come? And then you sit next to Barry. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Businesswoman.
I don't like her.
Businesswoman.
El Marie, I like you. You're convincing me.
Yeah.
This is my first panel with you. I feel like you're the Rachel of our panel. You talk to
that.
I'm like,
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm like, Rachel, tweet me at the Matt Marr. Any of us, we just want to be your
Yeah.
friend. We
Yeah.
love.
Have
I
you
gotta
here.
find her on Instagram. We will
Yeah.
Skype with you. Well, so
Oh, yes.
let's kind of talk about. And I'm just thinking of time. Some other cool stuff happened. Maybe we won't get to, but I know that Jeff is going to go to counseling. That was a cool conversation.
Yeah. Let's go to the meat of
But
the
let's
cruise.
talk about
The alligator
when
meat.
Jared laid it down
Woo.
really for this. I mean, tears were flowing. I got teary.
And I was
did
crying.
too.
I
Yeah.
started to cry. Like
Yeah.
it was really.
Well,
it's
all
just
fairness,
emotional.
though, all fairness, you started to cry when you saw Tamika's outfit at the jewelry party. You're like,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
Her outfit at the jewelry party was everything.
great.
It was
was
like
great.
on the town meets sailor realness. And
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it.
But I think I loved this whole confrontation on the boat even more because also, like, this started to go one way and then Jared kind of took it the other way because Barry started explaining himself again and they started kind of thinking like, oh, okay, like you went back to your adolescence, blah, blah, blah. And he did start to apologize. He was doing okay. And then Jared said like, okay, I'm going to shut it down and really went into the nitty gritty of this word and why like this was serious, that Barry said this. Like, not necessarily like a cardinal sin, but because, you know, Jared is so close with Tamika, this is why it hit him so hard is because like his
Close
cousin,
to these person.
yeah, he's close to this person, and like I've experienced that too. Like people I'm close with have shown signs of like some homophobia and said some things that are like a little bit insensitive, and it's like, well, damn, like if this person who I'm so close to isn't sensitive to it, then that really sucks.
Yeah.
So I like that Jared did that, and he got emotional, and so did everybody else on the boat. And
So
you know
did
what?
we.
You know what I'm just
Yeah.
wondering? I'm wondering about the cruise driver, who's like, you know, sitting back there with the steering wheel, like, revving the engine, is like, I'm kind of awkward back here,
happening
let's
here?
step
Right.
away. I wanted to see more Barry Poppins, or Benny Poppins on this boat, by the way.
We're gonna get to
Kind of
him.
random
Yeah.
thought. Benny Poppins, my favorite character of reality TV, TV in general, really. Grammy for Benny Poppins, or no, Emmy.
And oh god,
And a Grammy.
she's on the
Like,
train. She's on the train.
And a
Check-
Grammy.
oh, the
so
coal is
crusty.
burning, and the Charles
Sugar,
train.
sugar, sugar,
is
sugar,
the-
sugar,
The
sugar,
rusted,
It's
yeah.
rusted, it's busted, it's full steam ahead, y'all.
Full steam ahead.
Grammy for Benny. No,
Yeah.
Pump the
no,
brakes
but I did like that Jared did this, and everybody responded really great. And Tamika immediately got emotional because you know that Tamika was one of the first people that Jared told and really opened up to because he said, and with this woman right here, and then Tamika just broke down
Yeah.
because she knew how deep that was for him.
Yeah.
Well, and B, I think people should understand too that A, we're talking about the South. B, we're talking about, and no, I'm like a white man talking about this, but my partner of 3 years is, as he calls himself, a dark-skinned black man. He is gay, and just being a therapist and talking, it is a different thing when you're a black in America and you are also gay. It's very different than white. I think maybe a lot of people who are Latino can have similar, but it's such a cultural thing that you don't do, and that you know, it's already hard enough to be a black man in America, and so then the fact that you're coming out on top of this, and it's now you've got like another quote unquote strike against you in the public eye. It's something that I think as white men can't even fathom what that would be like. But the fact that, I think the reason that Tamika knows what that's like, or she knows what it's at least like to, you know, because she's so close to him. And I think, just in anything in life, when you're talking to somebody that maybe you don't agree with, or it truly is having empathy for the other side. Like I remember, like my brother one time was saying something, and it didn't even register to me, but like he said like several years ago, oh, that's so gay. And it was my 15-year-old nephew that looked at me and he's like, Dad, would you really say that in front of Uncle Matt?
That is so weird that you say
And
that.
yeah, so
Because, okay,
but it's about
finish.
what it's about though is, and I think not making that, but for anybody who's watching this, what I really love about TV in general is that you can learn and use lessons for your life, even in a reality show with a bunch of crazy people. But what this to me taught me is that if you are in the wrong about something, especially if you use like the N word, the F word, your sexist word, it's honestly not about your experience. It's about how that word made the person that is oppressed feel. And I thought Jerry did such a beautiful and eloquent way of explaining that, Barry, it really doesn't matter how you feel about this word. It doesn't matter that you used to say this. It needs to stop.
Yeah.
And this is how it affects me. And that's what brought tears to my eyes, because I know a lot of black men, black gay men, never even, like he said, that was the first time he verbalized that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did that so beautifully and so eloquent. Jared, you come on the show.
Yeah.
You come on the show and we'll cry together.
Yeah, he said he hadn't even told his family of
Yeah.
anything that he's felt. But the fact that everyone there as well was open to hearing what he had to say, it was very welcoming.
Yeah.
And that's a huge. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I was gonna say that's a huge moment for him as well, because he opened up to them on the boat. But you are filming a reality show. It's going to be television. Millions of people are going to see that. So you were opening up yourself to the world. So within just that little company that you were in front of, and now your family as well. So you may have the conversation later, but they may watch it, and you just have to sit back and
That's
yes,
brave.
this is me now.
Be
That's
proud
brave.
of that, you know?
Yeah.
I really do
Beautiful.
hope his family and everyone is proud of him
Yeah.
for
Yes.
speaking up and saying that.
Yes.
Wow. Southern Charm New Orleans, ending homophobia.
Hey.
In
Hey.
the South,
Who'da
everywhere.
thunk?
That needs to be talked about. So now so as far as, this is normally when we do our news segment, but guess what, y'all? We don't got any. We looked around. We looked for some news.
We digged for some gold and we
And
didn't find
that-
anything.
And this is where, Sugars, it is on you. If you're watching, either tweet us, and we'll give you our Twitter at the end, or you can go to the YouTube and put in the chat or the live chat now. Sugars, if you got the news, then give it to us.
What's the tea?
Because we
We want some
we don't
tea.
know. We don't,
In
but
our
we don't have
segment, what's the
news.
tea?
But we do have some. Say it again.
Laissez les bon temps cray cray.
Pray. Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
What's the first letter of the alphabet?
Hey. Oh my gosh.
That's my go-to when I'm out with my friends. I'm like, hey.
I know, I saw your Instagram story.
Oh, You saw my Saturday night.
That's a mess.
He's finding the tea. He knows.
I needed to relax and de-stress, okay? Let me go delete it.
I feel like, are you the guy on the dance floor after a couple of drinks you can't stop dancing?
I'm the guy on the dance floor before a couple of drinks. I can't stop dancing. I can't stop dancing before I even get in the club.
Oh, he's on it.
Dance crazy.
Marie, you dance or you sipping tea in the corner just waiting?
No, I need the few drinks first, and then I'm out. I'm out.
Okay, we'll go out and see. We'll go out and see. All right, so our cray crays. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Oh, go.
Okay.
My laissez bon temps cray cray is Nicole. With
Oh.
all of her cray crayness, I feel like she is the crazy Southern lady who is always wearing pearls, always has her makeup done, but always has that weird glint in her eye where you're like, you're crazy. Because she kept referring to Out of Africa. She has this weird relationship with Benny Poppins. And I think she's crazy in the best Southern kind of weird way.
She's like a poor man's Patricia
She's like,
from Southern
Oh
Charm.
my God, I was just about to say that.
Not that she's not poor, but Patricia is like, Patricia could buy and sell AfterBuzz 5 times.
Yeah.
Like, the woman's got so much money.
Oh, wow.
But
she reminds me
Like
of,
her-
if anybody's seen Sunset Boulevard, that's like an old
Yes,
movie reference.
yes.
She reminds me of, what's her name? In the
Gloria Swanson played her, but it's boy, I
Whatever.
can't think of the gay references tonight.
Because
Oh
it's
my
like a
gosh.
very extravagant name, but she's very that.
What,
very,
Brie? Norma
Yes.
Desmond.
Norma Desmond.
Yeah, she's like, I'm ready for my close-up, Mr.
Yeah, she reminds me of kind of like a kind of modern, younger, less rich, more southern Norma Desmond with Benny Poppins.
Jesus, what a mixture
It
right there.
was, though, because when he came out to bring her and Tamika the drinks, the coffee drinks, she's like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
I was like,
It was a little sensuous, as my mom would say.
Yeah.
Like, sensuous.
I'm
happening
Nicole.
here?
It's like Nicole, chill, please.
Nicole,
Okay, El Marie, what was your cray-cray?
my cray moment was, we already kind of talked about it, but it was Gian showing up with John to the boat. Because she had no reason.
Yeah, girl. What are you
I
doing?
would like to know her reason behind that, but I just felt like you were out of place. Also, John, it's for both of them. Because, John, why did you bring her?
And why'd you wear a shirt?
Yeah, why'd you wear a shirt?
Why did you wear a shirt?
Girl, come on.
Oh, shout out to John, though. Just a little shout out. Shout out to John and Jeff, by the way, too. During that whole, homophobia conversation. And Justin.
yeah.
All the men, totally stepped up in that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I just love that men need to support women need to support straight people, need to support gay people, black people support white people. Just freaking support.
Yeah, and
it's
ownership,
great.
yeah.
Love is love.
Oh.
Everybody say love.
Love. Oh, let's give a shout out.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
finish
that's
our
what I was
cray
gonna
cray.
do.
Let's do a shout out to.
So Ronnie Jr. says this episode had so much heart, and I'm really touched by the layers of this episode. He also adds, Tamika's cousin remarks are so reminiscent of some of my own experiences. It was a tough episode, but really heartfelt. We all know Ronnie
Me
here
too.
at AfterBuzz. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. It made me teary. All right, what's your cray cray, girl?
Jeez, I had it in my head and now I lost
I have mine.
it.
I can go
That's
Okay,
ahead.
hell.
go.
That's the
My cray cray was.
My nail.
What happened?
My nail, my broken nail.
Oh, she got me.
I'm a mess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The way to call her out,
Pick it
girl.
on me.
Oh, that
That's
train
not-
is
that's
that
not-
train is
Yeah.
rusted and needs to stop at the depot. Lord
gonna
help
fall.
us.
The rest is
I can't
spreading.
bring you along. Yeah.
Bree, we're gonna need a
Call me
train
out.
noise next week for the Charles train.
Yes,
A
sorry.
choo-choo.
Her nails are beautiful. I gave them a compliment earlier. And she was like, don't look at them. I'm like, they're gorgeous.
They're busted. They're busted. I'm just gonna not use my hands.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Everybody off board the Charles train.
So,
Detraining. Next stop, crazy
That's
train.
that exit.
so my little bon song cray
I got it,
cray
I got it.
is anybody need any hot sauce? When Betty
how's
Poppins.
that?
Betty
love him.
Poppins. There was first of all, when he was like in the middle of the fight, like anybody need a hot sauce, and he was like, I'll just go get it. And then he kind of walked away. And then whenever when Tamika showed up and he was like, do you want to, or he said something like, do you want a drink? She's like, yeah. And then I forgot what she said, but she was walking in and he said something like, are you okay? And she's like, why? You think I'm fine? And he said something like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You
He's kind of like
you think I'm difficult? And she was like, I don't know, maybe.
again, he's like, I forget what's Patricia's guy's
I
name.
can't remember, but
I
it's her
forget.
butler.
He's like the
Patricia's
commentary of the
but he is
episode.
kind of like the drunk kind
Like
of
a
white
younger
trash
version.
butler. And I can say that because my family's a little white. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you can't get beyond your raisin on that one.
Yeah.
And I think Benny is showing
Benny Poppins,
showing
Benny
his
Poppins.
colors. Benny Poppins. So what? Pardon? Yes,
Oh,
Michael. Michael's great. So
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
your
yeah.
cray-cray?
My cray-cray moment is Kway himself because I feel like Kwayzy, yeah. I feel like he provoked this whole incident by saying, you should sue me and saying all this stuff, and then he kind of just walked away.
I will sue you.
I used to be, we'll sue your boots. I used to be such a fan of his, and now I'm like, what? Why do I have to see the side of you? Like, really? It's
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Oh, is he a real person?
He's
yeah,
like
he's
IG famous.
he's
I don't know
IG
him.
famous. He's got TT. I'll show you a video. I'll show you his Instagram. Actually, he's really funny.
He's funny, but
But this whole thing,
Messy.
I'm like, why get involved?
I will
Yeah.
sue you.
He's
No.
thirsty. IG celebrities usually are thirsty at these kind of events.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
I need to be in the spotlight.
That's
I need to
true.
start
Yeah.
a conversation.
He's mad and not his show.
So he's social media famous, and his
He is
15
mad.
minutes is on the 16th minute, girl.
Yeah.
It is. And we are on our 16th minute as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
It is. This was hard to stop the show because there's still, I feel like, a
Yeah.
lot we could talk about. We didn't get to everything. And then next week, it's going to be a super, I told them, but they're going to this haunted mansion. And I've been there. I stayed the night there.
I
so
don't even know how.
I'm going to have some real input, real
Insight.
tea. I stayed in the doll room and it was terrifying. But anyway, so yeah, they're going to go to the Myrtles plantation. Very very haunted.
I thought you said very handsome.
Very
I'm like,
handsome.
okay.
Hanted. If you're a hot ghost, you're hanted. I don't know what that means. But anyway, we appreciate it so much. So let's sign off, everybody.
alrighty, guys. I'm Elle Marie, and you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Elle Marie TV.
And I'm Charles Conoly. You can find me at Instagram on Instagram and Twitter at my very haunted pages at Charles Conoly.
And you guys can find me everywhere. My name is Mayte Carillo at Mayte Carillo _.
And I'm Matt Marr. You can find me at the Matt Marr, 2 T's, 2 R on all social media, or at the website mattmarr.tv. You can find my advice, podcasts, and other stuff we do. And we're all doing other stuff.
And we
at
have
AfterBuzz.
Southern Charm.
Yeah,
Thursday
Southern
nights.
Charm Thursday night. Us too. Queer Eye.
Yeah, I'm on
with this
Queer Eye,
one.
y'all.
What other
I
panels?
got Grey's Anatomy and
Oh.
For the People. Yeah,
Oh.
a little more
Oh.
serious shows, but
Yeah.
you gotta have a balance.
We have
Yeah.
to balance. Well, this show
Real
got serious
reality.
too.
Yeah.
So, and we are working on getting other people in the studio for you. So be sure you're coming in because I feel like we're gonna have some more Southern Charm NOLA cast on this show,
baby.
everybody. All right, everybody. We will see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Anybody need any hot sauce?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.